about economics and said, it is a method rather than a doctrine, an apparatus of mind, a technique of thinking which enables its possessor to draw correct conclusions. I'm very happy that this school will have students at the level of BA, undergraduate, as such people call it. Now in India we call it graduate. Then students at the postgraduate level, and finally PhD students. At the undergraduate level, that is at the BA level, I think it is very important to give a broad view of education while emphasizing economics, mathematics, and statistics. I'm happy to hear that the syllabus includes many things, but I would like to emphasize the liberal education model in which the students of economics will take courses in history, will take courses in political science, sociology, and even philosophy. Such a broad base is absolutely essential at the undergraduate level. At the master's level, I do hope that a good grounding in the principles of economics is given to the students, and at the PhD level, the research becomes important. Research and teaching go together. The one feeds into the other. The teachers who do research are really the best teachers. That is why the saying that it is only a lighted candle that can light another candle. I'm happy to see that mathematics and statistics will be taught at the undergraduate level. I think it is extremely important that this grounding is given. I'm particularly unhappy that in South India, in the undergraduate education in economics, not much stress is laid on mathematics or statistics. And that is why at the master's level, when students come, they have very little strength in terms of mathematical interpretation of economics. I'm not the one to say that mathematics is economics. No, economics is much broader in that sense of the term. But economic principles need to be put in mathematical form if they have to be tested. Theory at best can only say what the relationship between two variables is. Look at the theory of demand. If the price of a commodity goes up, its demand comes down, other things remaining the same. But for application of that principle, you need to measure to what extent the quantity demanded falls as a result of increase in the price. The concept of elasticity of demand is important as a concept, but to implement it, you really need something more, and that is converting and giving it an empirical form and finding out exactly what the elasticity of demand is so that it can be utilized in terms of any decisions that you take. Therefore, a good grounding in mathematics and statistics is important. As somebody said, science is measurement, and therefore measurement is extremely important. And in all fields, it has come to be recognized. And why I say this is, economics is both pure and applied. Economic principles are there, but the principles of economics need to be applied to concrete problems, and therefore applied economics becomes as important as the pure part of it. And therefore the purpose of economics must be understood. The purpose of economics is essentially to use the principles of economics to solve the problems, or the economic problems of the day, at the level of the firm, at the level of the country, and at the global level. I always go back to what Pigou said in his Economics of Welfare, and he said, when we elect to watch the play of human motives that are sometimes mean, dismal, and ignoble, our impulse is not the philosopher's knowledge for the sake of knowledge, but the physiologist's knowledge for the healing that knowledge must bring. Knowledge for the healing that knowledge must bring. And that is important, and that is a core of economics. And that is the reason why we study economics as a discipline. One more point I would like to make on the study of economics. It is very often said that higher education in this country is at crossroads. This hackneyed and overused expression still contains an element of truth. The three dimensions of higher education which we need to look at are access, equity, and quality. Access means the widening of the higher education. Our gross enrollment ratio, even at the higher education level, is lower. And we need therefore more colleges, more institutions of higher learning. Access is important. Equally important is equity, because higher education cannot be the monopoly of a few. And therefore, special efforts have to be made in order to bring in the vulnerable and others. But what is very often ignored is the fact that the quality of education is extremely important. And quality is something that is given a go-by in the search for quantity. What should we do in order to improve the quality of education? Knowledge is expanding at an exponential rate, and therefore our courses and syllabuses must be updated from time to time. Secondly, as was emphasized earlier, that teaching and good teachers are the most important thing. Now, teaching is also changing its methods. Teaching today is not what teaching was some years ago. Today, it is possible to take the classroom the lectures of the most eminent people in the field, and technology will help you to do that. Therefore, the modern day teacher must be able to blend not only his skills, but his skills with the skills of others. Nevertheless, I must say, despite all technology, the teacher still plays an important part. As it is said, an ordinary teacher conveys, a good teacher communicates, and a great teacher inspires. And therefore, I would emphasize the school needs inspiring teachers. And thirdly, the role of the students is equally important. Much of the learning comes out of the attitude of the students. And therefore, they must be the ones who must recognize that learning is an experience by itself, and they must get completely involved in it. Today, knowledge is literally at the finger's end because of the development of computers and internet technology. And fourthly, and I would emphasize this, particularly in the context of a lot of controversies that are going on, our examination system must change. Our system of assessment, as it stands now, is more a test of memory than of the critical abilities of the students. Therefore, unless the assessment system that we have in our educational system changes, nothing much will happen. Once the examination and the assessment system changes, everything else will fall in its place, and it will keep both the teachers and the students on their toes. Before I end, only one point. There is a lot of concern in the country today about the slowing down of growth rate. How does one explain it? There is one fundamental principle in economics which says that the growth rate of an economy is equal to the investment rate of the economy divided by what is called the incremental capital output ratio. Incremental capital output ratio is the amount of capital required to produce 1 unit of output. The larger it is, the less efficient we are in the use of capital. So what has really happened, and what is really important, is the level of the investment rate and the productivity of capital. Just look at it. The investment rate of the economy in 2007-8, when the economy grew at 9.4%, was 38% of the GDP. Today, according to the latest estimates, it is 27.4% of GDP. Therefore, it is this decline in investment rate that has been the cause of much of the problem, namely the declining in the growth rate, and also an increase in the incremental capital output ratio. Several things needs to be done. This is not the occasion to talk about it, but I do believe speedy implementation of the stalled projects, quickening the pace of credit by the commercial banks by appropriate capitalization, and an intimate discussion with the people, with the industrialists, on what are the impediments to investment are needed to do this. And therefore, it is very often said, investment is an act of faith in the future. For a resurgence of investment, we need to create the proper investment climate, which is also the result of not only economic factors, but also non-economic factors. Well, I'm sure the students in this school will learn this and more. And let me conclude, therefore. I'm very happy about this school that is being established. In the world of today, knowledge, competition in any field is competition in knowledge. And that is why we need institutions of excellence. World-class excellence must be the motto and the guiding principle of this new School of Economics, and I wish the institution all success in its endeavors. Thank you very much.
Well, Rangarajan sir, BASE indeed is a strong investment to create world-class economists in future from Namma Bengaluru, from Namma India. Ladies and gentlemen, Kalikiya Sukhavanna Anubhavisi, experience the pleasure of learning is the call given by our guest of honor, Dr. C. Rangarajan, in his special address on this momentous occasion. Thank you so much, Dr. Chakravarti Rangarajan. Thanks once again, sir. Bandhugale vandalla yeradalla, 12 state budgets to his credit speak volumes about his expertise and experience in the issues related to state economy. So he stands before you for his special address. Please put your hands together and please welcome Honorable Chief Minister of Karnataka, Shri Siddaramaiah ji.
ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. Dr. Manmohan Singh ji, Honorable former Prime Minister of India, Mrs. Manmohan Singh ji, Dr. C. Rangarajan, former Governor, Reserve Bank of India, and Chairman, Madras School of Economics, Sri R.V. Deshpande, Honorable Minister for Large and Medium Industries, Sri Jayachandra, Honorable Minister for Land Parliamentary Affairs, Sri K.J. George, Honorable Minister for Bengaluru Development and Town Planning, Sri Basuraj Rai Reddy, Honorable Minister for Higher Education, Sri R. Roshan Beg, Honorable Minister for Urban Development, Sri Ramalinga Reddy, Honorable Minister for Home, Dr. S.C. Mahadevappa, Honorable Minister for Public Works, Sri H. Anjaneya, Honorable Minister for Social Welfare, Dr. G. Parameswar, President KPCC, Dr. M. Veerappa Moily, Member of Parliament, Sri K. H. Muniappa, Member of Parliament, distinguished invitees, media friends, officers from Government of Karnataka, ladies and gentlemen. It's a red letter day today, not merely in the history of Bengaluru, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar School of Economics, but also in the world of study of economics. We are very fortunate to have amidst